Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. No time for introduction, let's go right into it. So in the previous video, I already showed you guys how to create your pattern for this ballerina female slippers or shoe, and now I'm just going to proceed to making it. And I really hope you guys have seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, please go to my page and find the part 1. Trust me, this is a lesson you do not want to miss. Anyway, so this is the material I'll be using. I didn't call it leather because it is not really leather. It's actually a material. It's quite soft. It kind of has this suede feel to it anyway, and I feel like I just thought that was what was going to be best for this pattern. So I'm checking again with my last and the pattern because I had to make some adjustments. I had to spring the vamp. I had to do a lot of things in the previous video, so go and check that one out. Okay, so now I'm just going to mark it out, and there's something else that I wanted to do. I wanted to actually fold the edges of it. I don't know if you understand what I mean. I wanted it to have this folded finish, so I'm just going to add 1 centimeter. This is the inside, so this is basically the top line of your shoe, so I'm just adding 1 centimeter to it so that when I fold it in, everything will just look perfect. So I didn't add the extra 1 centimeter to my pattern, which is why I am adding it now. Some people go ahead to add their 1 centimeter in their pattern, but I feel like it just becomes very complicated. So I like doing this method personally. So I cut out the pattern and then I add anything that needs to be added. Please, if this is the method you are using, do not forget to add allowances or spaces or whatever when you need to. So yeah, I'm just going in 1 centimeter. I'm actually using 1 centimeter, please. I think you can use more than 1 centimeter, but I feel like 1 centimeter is just the best. So 1 centimeter all around. And if you notice, I'm also using it at the back, and that is because I am also going to sew. I will have to sew the back, which is why I am adding 1 centimeter. So by the time I sew and do everything, it will all go back to the same measurement and the same fit and everything. So 1 centimeter at the back is basically just for it's like a sewing allowance for me, the ones at the back, and I'll show you exactly what I mean shortly. So yeah, carefully just go ahead to cut out. Note that I am cutting through the extra 1 centimeter because like I said, we have to fold it in. We have to fold that top line just to give it some add to the aesthetics, just to add to the aesthetics. Basically, you can as well go ahead to make yours like that without folding it. And yeah, so that is the extra 1 centimeter. And now I'm going to show you guys how to do that back that I was telling you about. I went ahead to pin it before sewing because I wanted everything to just be perfect. So yeah, I had to pin it, and now that I have sewn it, you see, so now it is the exact size, it is the exact measurement. Because if I hadn't added that extra 1 centimeter allowance, I would have taken from the normal pattern and make my pattern make the shoe too small or something. It spoils the pattern. So that's why I had to add an extra 1 centimeter for sewing. And then that space, you see, I had to apply gum, and then I am just spreading out, making it relax the allowance. I'm just spreading it out, making it sleep, making it relax. This is a very good method because if you just leave it there, or I have seen some people, and quite frankly, when I started, I actually just used to fold both flaps to one side, and it makes it very puffy. It doesn't look very nice until I learned this method of actually spreading it so you have a lot of space, and then it feels like you won't feel like there's anything there. You understand? Because of the way you made it sleep and everything. So next, I'm going to apply gum all around my extra 1 centimeter, so that I can fold this in, which is basically what I am doing now. And you have to be careful because we already we already went ahead to sew the back. And in case you are wondering if you can fold first before sewing the back, yes, I guess so, but I feel like when you now want to spread it out to open it like I just did, you will have a little puffiness here and there. But you can go ahead to try. Everything is an experiment. We are learning here. We learn as we go. We are learning on the job. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just folding the 1 centimeter, making some notches here and there so that it is easy for me to fold, and I don't want any wrinkles on it. I want it to just be smooth, so that everything is okay. And you see, I have folded it now, and you see how it is. Just to make sure again, I'm going again to check out my pattern with my last. Always work with your last. I cannot overemphasize this. I can't say this enough. Work with your last. Your last is your best friend when you're working with shoes. I think with sandals or slippers, you can find a way to just maneuver it somehow. You can find a way to just maneuver it, and then without a last, of course. But for shoes, when you're making a full shoe, please work with your last. It is very important. Work with your last. That is how you are going to get the perfect fit for everything. So from time to time you'll see me checking with my last. It's just because, like I said, you have to work with your last. And yeah, folded it in, going in with my mallet to make sure that it is perfect, it is stable and everything. I am still going to add lining, obviously, because this material is actually very soft, and I already cut out the material. I already cut out my lining off camera. I used the same pattern that I used to make the upper. I used it for the lining, and then I went ahead to add a bow because this pattern required, or this design required, a bow. So I went ahead to add the bow, and you see the way I made this this lining. Over time, in the course of us being you being in my channel, I'll show you different methods of how you can make your lining. Also, another part here is that I think when I'm making another shoe, you see the way I'm just applying gum everywhere but leaving the front. That is because I really wanted to add a front sleeve to that front, but I also wanted to sew. So you see that I'm giving that front a lot of gap. Even when I'm applying gum on the material itself, I'm basically applying the gum from the vamp line backwards, so that every part will stick except that front where I can add the front sleeve. So another thing is that there are some kind of shoes, especially male shoes, that you need to add some back sleeve to it. You need to add the front star back sleeve. This method or this kind of designs require separate methods, because you actually need to be able to separate your lining from your upper so as to place some things and to last properly. But since I don't want to add the back sleeve to it, I didn't see the need to not apply gum to the back. And I'm basically just going in and making sure that the center is met to the center, and then I am just applying, trying to place it carefully. I am being extra careful so that I don't make any mistake. And if you notice, you see that there's a line there, because that is the actual line, that is the actual top line. I just made that small incision so that I'll be able to move in case I want to turn the pattern around or something. That is why that little incision is there. I could have as well just cut the whole thing just the way the upper is. I think maybe that would have even been easier, but I really wanted to sew it like this. You can go ahead to make the exact copy of your upper, make the exact duplicate for your lining. It is completely up to you, but this is how I wanted to make mine, and it took a while. I struggled a bit, quite frankly, but yeah, I actually got it right because I was actually being very careful, especially when it came to this back. I had to make sure that the folding matched. I didn't want one to be on one side and the other one to be on the other side, so I wanted them to match perfectly. So that is why I was being very careful here, if you notice. Please, when you are doing this, do not be in a hurry. Take your time, make sure everything is placed well, make sure that there are no wrinkles, make sure that everything is sitting properly, everything is placed the way it is supposed to be placed and where it is supposed to be, so that you don't have any errors or anything or mistakes. Because once you pass this stage, you are there's little to nothing you can do. There's little to nothing that you can do to correct any mistake once it passes this stage. So you need to be sure, you need to make sure that this is actually the this is actually it. Get it right. Okay, so yeah, after doing this, I'm just going to hit it with the hammer. Please don't laugh at my hammer. I know that it looks very funny, but please do not laugh at my hammer. I intend to get another one very soon. So you see that the opening at the front, I still have space from the vamp line upwards. I still have some space, and I'm basically doing the same thing that I did the first time, placing it carefully, passing the top line. Okay, so forget all these extras. If it's actually going to confuse you, please do not add all this extra in the middle. Just cut exactly your upper for your lining so that everything just fits properly. Okay, so this is the final part of this video. I already went ahead to sew round the top line of the shoe, and I'm just burning off excess threads and hairs from when I cut off those excesses from my lining. And basically I'll just do this round until I am satisfied and until it is smooth. Also, if you also have like a very sharp scissors, it will be way easier for you. I really hope that you have found these videos very helpful, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Please do not forget to ask me in the comment section. I will be there, I'll be waiting. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share to other shoe crafters or anybody else that wants to learn. Thank you.